How's it going, guys? So this is my, and I don't know exactly what I want to do with this exactly, but this is my training regimen for Valorant, and what I am planning to do is just kind of explain a little bit the things that I have an issue with in Valorant, as well as um like some things that I know that are already there, but I don't want to use. Not that I don't want to use them. Is just that I would want them. I would want to use them within the game's mechanic, right? So like the first thing that you'll always see is like people talking about aim lab or talk about the Kovac aim tester or whatever it's called, and like those things are great and they'll help you with your aim, but they're not within the game's mechanic, and like the guns aren't exactly the same, and not only are they not the same, but like let's say with I think it was Kovac. With the Kovac one, there's like, let's say there's a testing one where you have to shoot the balls that are like bouncing around within the room, right? Like cool, that one does help with people's aim, but I very much doubt that you would ever need to like aim down here and then have to aim up here and then have to aim down here, and like like you would have to like you know what I mean? Like just imagine that there's balls like bouncing around the room, right? You would need to follow the ball around like this and shoot it, but that doesn't really help. That doesn't really help your training, right? Because in CS, in Counter Strike, not only in Counter Strike but in Valorant as well, the biggest thing that you may have in terms of like missing shots is one with your movement, right? Because if you're moving, you have a harder time actually hitting, right? Than if you do when you're not moving, right? And then on top of that, the gun's recoil is going to be different on every single different gun on this game, as well as between different games, right? But the third thing that's super different between the aim lab and like Kovac and all these things are the actual placement of said characters. So if we go into here and then we make the bots strafe. We make the bots strafe, right? Like this is a good way for you to like trace the people so that you can learn how the movement is like, how the movement in the game is different, or how the movement is in this game. But if you do it in Kovac, it's not going to be the same thing, right? So the one thing that that's why this trainer right here is great. I would love for them to make it so that I'm able to like spawn a character or spawn a bot in a certain spot. Like if it was able to, well, you never have a situation like this, but like if you're able to spawn a character here, so that when it so yeah, spawn a character right here and then have it run across that side, and you have to be, let's say, over here, and you have to defend it, and you have to wait for the bot to walk by, right? So that's like a good way for the game to like help with helping the team or helping the players understand the mechanics of the game. By all means, like this thing is great. Like this training section is great because it helps with the movement, but it's just that it needs a little bit more, like pillars here, or pillars that you can actually add, so that like if you put a pillar here, you put a pillar here, you put one over here like randomly, and then have the characters walk by, like those in a random sequence, right? Like that will help. That will help with what I was talking about back there, right? Okay, so in terms of the game, like, your mouse and all that stuff is like, sure, is important, but it's mainly just your DPI and your sensitivity. You have to find something that you're comfortable with. For me, I like to be able to turn 180 a little bit less or more than 180 with just like the flick of my wrist type of thing, so that if I'm walking down this way and then I get shot from the back, I can turn, right? I can turn, right? And so just it's just me now knowing where the headshot angle is, right? Or if I'm walking down here, I can like peek corners really quickly, peek corners or check corners, right? Check corners really quickly, and then move on, right? And I shoot. If I have to shoot there, I'll shoot. If I have to shoot there, I'll shoot. If I have to shoot there, I'll shoot, right? So that is like the stuff that you have to get, and that's for any game, right? You play CS, you play Valorant, you play Call of Duty, you play whatever it is. Like, you have to get comfortable with your mouse movement and your actual movement as well. In CS in CS and in Valorant, Counter-Strike and Valorant, there is like this thing where if you tap the opposite direction of where you're walking, you instantly stop moving, and you have your full accuracy, right? So that's another thing that I do when I come here. I practice that. So you can also even do it outside of corners. So you can go like this, right? And you try to get that. Try to get that. Right. Let's try to get that one. So this one's coming back. Right. And that was just gonna help you with like your peeking and your coming out of it, so you can peek. And again, you want to like sometimes even bait the op shot to come out so you can peek fully and make them lose the angle, right? Essentially, that's what you want to do. You want to make the oppers lose the angle. Okay. So another thing too is when you're dealing with guns in any kind of game, you have to know the recoil of the guns, right? And I was looking at this a few streams ago, and you can probably find it in my previous streams. But the one thing that I was looking at is how the kick of this little gun kind of shoots up. You can kind of see it makes a little corner, like a little arrow, and so that way like the first few shots is very accurate. The first 3 shots are very accurate, and then if you want like 4 and 5, you want to aim down a little bit. Okay. So I'm sure that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm sure that's 5. And then with just that, you'll have 780 damage. Nothing's dying from that. Or sorry, everything is dying from that. Even everything is dying from just this. From just the 2. From just the 2, sorry, you can't really see the. With just the 2 is 310. But of course, with just the 1, it's 156, which is a kill on anything, right? But this is at 5 meters, right? If you want to go 20 meters, you can see that me shooting the 3 shots at this range gives me the amount that I need. And of course, remember that each damage has its fall off. So from 15 to 30, and right now I'm at 20. Headshots only do one headshot only does 140. So you need to make sure that you're hitting 2 headshots at a time in order to kill, or you're doing a body shot with it, right? So that right there is 4 shots, and I was hitting. You can see right here, I'm hitting 2 in the head, or 1 in the head. one in like the lower chin area of the neck, and then one at the chest. So even if the gun does kick up, which it will, right? So let's do it again. See how it kicked up like that? You don't want that. See, even if it did kick up, you will still get headshots. So that's why you want to be able to control the headshots coming out. That's 5. And see, 490. By all means, if they move, and that's why I would want one that has it so that they move, so that you would have to be able to like trace them. And that's something that this game is lacking right now, is that people are moving like this all the time, right? And so you want to be able to trace, because you have full accuracy, you want to be able to make that line as much as possible. So something like that. So you see, you want to make that line like that, right? So it goes to the headshot. But again, a dummy, you want to put a bot in a spot, make it walk across a corridor or across an entrance, and then from that you want to be able to trace it with the shots. By all means, like, it's easy to just shoot them as they're walking, but if you miss the first 2 shots and they stop, then you have to correct and you have to shoot, and that's not going to help you. Anyway, so that's like the little things that I do. I go here, I try to spray control, right? And I try to keep it inside this little circle here. Right, so that top one right there wasn't the best, but you want to keep it so that it's in the middle here, and you want to do it at like, so if this is 5 meters, right? This is 5 meters, and this is 20, so that means that if I go right here, this is 15, right? So that's a little bit way of one way of you being able to check your 10, your 20, your 10, your 15, your 20, your 25, your 30, and your 30 to 50 is going to be the same, right? If you want to train at 35, you can go here, but at 30 to 50, it's almost like don't even worry about it. Don't even engage. But yeah, that's how you want to do that. But yeah, you can see how these little things will help you out. Spray control. Always remember to spray control. You go in here, try to do spray control. You go to your Vandal, clear that. You want to do the same thing, right? You want to get them all headshots. And then you also want to go to like the Guardian. Go to the Guardian. The Guardian's a little bit easier because it's like a semi-automatic, so it naturally shoots slow. But you have like also like this. For the Spectre, I also train myself in doing like these. I got knocked on that. Right? And then what my goal is to keep it within this range, this circle. Right? And so that, at least I can aim at the chest here. I can aim at the chest, and that will help me so that I can, turn corners and stuff, right? And again, this is at 5 meters. You want to do at 10. You want to do it. I can't do it at 15. Well, maybe I could. Do something like this. Make sure I'm lined up. It's a little bit harder, but yeah, you get it. This is at 20. At 20 it gets a little bit harder, like it's almost impossible to hit. That's why you have your ADS, and that's pretty bad. It's a little bit tougher. That's why even with that, you just take out your pistol. But yeah. Okay. So that is the spray control. Now, what I like to do on this end is on medium. On medium, you can do streak. You can do with your strafing bots. But I like to do medium armor on and infinite ammo on. And I just do it on medium for now. Later on, I want to get better, so much better, so that I can actually do it on hard. But there's one issue that I have right now, and you'll see it as I'm training. Here, I feel like I'm hitting these nicely. It's just that I'm fast enough to get to them, but sometimes I overshoot, and I'll show you what I mean. Sometimes I overshoot. Right there, I overshot. Under. Okay, so not bad for my first aim test here, but you can see on a lot of them I either undershot, so I'm going past or going before their heads over here, and then sometimes I'm overshooting where I'm going past their heads over here, right? And it's just like a very minute, like very tiny amount of movement, and I try to correct it after the fact, right? Instead of knowing that I have to go this much distance, I go like that, or I go like that. I go shorter, right? That's something that I need to train and get better at. And then once I get consistently at 20, the score 20, then I'll like very consistently. I mean, like every single time I do this is 25, not like I am getting it sometimes, not getting it sometimes. And again, it's okay to be one off or two off, which is fine. Like, don't beat yourself up on it. But like getting 15 is good. Like, it's a good starter. But you want to get somewhere where you're actually a lot faster. Going to the easy side is good as well. But you have so much time that you should really never miss a shot, as well as you should never you should not miss a target. And you can tell that it's very easy for you to just really like take your time and go to each target and like know the distance of where the target is and then shoot them, right? The only issue with this is that this doesn't help you in a real game. You are taking too much time to get to them, and they have all the time to also shoot you in the head, right? To shoot you where you stand. And I think that as much as this is good for beginners, I firmly believe that going up a level and struggling with it, like there, I missed almost 3 shots there, is much better for you in the long run. Going to medium, so you did easy, right? And even if you miss a few of the mediums, I firmly believe on easy, even missing a few shots on easy, I firmly believe that going to medium to help you out with like the speed of your mouse is going to be much better, because easy is not that it's too easy, but it's too slow. And in a real game, medium is probably like the right amount of like speed. Hard is going to be much more difficult, and it's going to make it so that you almost never get any of the targets, and that's going to be discouraging. I don't want it to be discouraging. I want it to be useful for you guys, right? So keep it on medium, get consistently 25, 20, and then make your way up to hard much later in the thing. this streaks thing is good and all, but again, the speed is what's more important. But yeah, like other than that, I feel like a lot of the things that you should really worry about in this game is learning the recoil of the guns, and also learning how to control. How did I kill? Oh, because probably so far. So these are. It died. It actually died. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so that's my first time using the Phantom on this, and to me, it's pretty good. To me, it's pretty good. But again, consistently 20, consistently 25, like in that range is good enough. Again, I'm one off, so I'm not too worried about it. I can do this a few more times and to try to get 20, trying to get 25, and I'll be a lot better. And also because this is the Phantom, the further targets are, the less damage it does. So when I'm not sure the actual, like there should be lining here that tells you like, okay, this is 15 or this is 10, and then this is like at the very further back is like 30, right? They should have that. But again, if you want to try with like an actual assault rifle type of weapon, use the Vandal and do it again, and you can kind of see the difference between the two in terms of damage, in terms of how much you have to actually hit in some cases, right? But guys, let me know if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions. I really want to make this helpful for people, but for the most part, like this is what I do. This is I'm sure there's other ways of making it better. Again, aim labs, the Kovac thing, like those are cool tools to be able to help you with your mouse movement and help you with these things. I would just need to see a lot more Valorant-esque scenarios in those. So if you guys can link me some of those, that'd be great. More than happy to check them out. I'm sure there's a Reddit that helps you out with those type of things. But if anything, I'll go check them out on the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe as well and check out my Twitch live stream. Guys, thanks so much for watching.